again, something unique to Beethoven in my mind, that the dynamics are piano, but there is a generosity and a warmth that radiates from Beethoven's personality, and it has to come through in the sound, and there is a fullness of a Beethoven piano which is very different from a Mozart or from a Haydn piano. Then he finishes this movement in pianissimo in the lowest register. This is prestissimo, extreme, again no tempo ordinario, no allegro and no presto, but extremely fast. Already you can see in Opus 10 that Beethoven works psychologically. The movements are not together in an arbitrary manner. You couldn't just put here any other movement, and they have to grow out of one another. So to me, it's very important that a Beethoven sonata really starts with the first note of the first movement and finishes with the last note of the last movement. So if a performer after the second movement does this and then takes a handkerchief and takes the sweat away and everybody starts to cough, I mean, that's the worst thing you can do, because you lose the tension, you ruin Beethoven's sense of continuity. So prestissimo, pianissimo start and in unison, so very mysterious, very spooky. Let's think of some other Beethoven pieces like or the trio opus 1 number 3, and all these start pianissimo, piano, and in unison, so they have something in common. But some Beethoven pieces start in unison and fortissimo, also in C minor, for example. And that will come later in this movement. It's very interesting. I think it's the first appearance of this fate motive occurs in this movement. So let's play a little more. Huge contrast again. Second subject. So you have this very virtuoso passage. Again, always sforzando on the second beat, not to be forgotten. And change of tonality, change of character. Suddenly we have a Gassenhauer. Gassenhauer is a Viennese street song. Somebody that, like the greengrocer, can whistle it, and it's very witty. Again, in a dramatic, almost tragic sonata, you have suddenly comical elements. incredibly funny because this is like a correction. And sort of evaporates in nothing. And then a sforzando, end of the exposition, but within piano. Repeat. Let's remember it. I hope I won't forget. And then comes, this is a finale in sonata form with a development, but the development section is extremely short. I will play it, so. What I told you. Etc. And this is the whole development section, just a couple of bars. Recapitulation. And this is, again, it's a language. It's two little questions, and then big question. You can feel a question mark then. And now comes answer. So, sonata form, second and third subjects, again in the tonic key, and then comes a coda. This is very important because he finishes this sonata rather unconventionally. Fermata, you can wait as long as you wish. And then, again, this is dominant of D flat major. Again, we have this Napolitan key. And now comes the second subject in the Napolitan key, under the tempo. Sempre ritardando, slower. Adagio, he writes, and now comes this is incredible because you can already hear the seeds of the Tempest Sonata here, nicht wahr? It will be many years later. So anyway, back to the tempo. So he combines the two themes we had, you know, and diminuendo, and just disappears without retardando, and it is anything but spectacular. Nothing spectacular about this. Very theatrical, but it's against expectations, and this is really admirable with Beethoven, that very often with his piano sonatas he's not writing for effect, and indeed, whenever I play this sonata, it never has any success. And nor does the Opus 10 number 3, which is the most wonderful sonata, because people like to applaud when it's loud. Well, not you, probably. But, so you couldn't finish more unconventionally and more modestly.
Guardian Unlimited.
For more great downloads, go to guardian.co.uk/audio.